So right now you're running a scam on yourself. You've got your assignment document opened up on your laptop. You have a test coming up. You've got an essay due. Your project is sitting right in front of you. But instead of touching it, you decided to spend the last hour switching between TikTok, rearranging your desk, organizing your Spotify playlist, or watching this video, which is even worse. You're telling yourself this counts as preparing, but realistically, what you're telling yourself is, I will just start at 7 p.m., but then 7 p.m. passes, and guess what happens? Nothing. Okay, then you just say, I will have a fresh start at 7:30 p.m., but guess what? Nothing happens. So let's stop lying to each other, okay? Here's the truth. Your procrastination is not because you are lazy, and it is not because you have bad time management. It is a biological survival mechanism. When you avoid studying or opening that Google document, your brain isn't messing up a calculation about how many hours you have until the assignment is due. It is staging an emergency intervention to protect your ego. So school forces a grade on your effort. That assignment isn't just homework, it is a mirror that might reflect back that you are not as smart as you want to be, or that you might try your absolute hardest and still get a bad grade. So your brain steps in like an overprotective bodyguard and drags you away from the mirror. It hands you cheap instant comfort, a quick scroll, a snack, a clean bedroom, and you mistake that quick relief for being lazy. Until you and I fix this biological engine underneath behind our procrastination, then every study planner, every aesthetic stationery set, and every morning early routine will not help you at all. So, to beat this, you need to understand the internal fight that is happening inside of your brain every time you procrastinate. So you have two main systems fighting for and against your procrastination. So the first system is your limbic system, which is known as the lizard brain. This ancient part of your brain is fast, impulse driven, and obsessed with immediate comfort. It does not care about a GPA, getting into college, or your future career. It cares about right now, the exact second. Your prefrontal cortex is a second thing that fights for your procrastination, no, against your procrastination. So this handles long-term goals, logic, and self-control. It is the part of you that actually wants to do well and get things done. So here is how you hijack your brain to stop procrastination. When you look at a hard assignment, your brain sees a path to good grades and less tomorrow, but your lizard brain sees confusion, potential failure, and boring effort. Your lizard brain emotional discomfort feels identical to physical danger. It feels like the uncertainty you feel from doing this assignment might kill you, but realistically, it's not going to. So every time this part of your brain gets triggered, that's when you decide to check your phone or have a quick snack or watch one quick video on your feed. So when you give in to social media after you procrastinate, two things happen immediately. Your study anxiety drops to zero, and your brain gets a quick hit of dopamine, escaping the discomfort. So if you don't know what that means, basically what I'm saying is you're teaching your brain to feel good when it starts to run away, but that's not how you want your brain to condition you for future activities. If you really want to complete assignments, then you need to do them now, immediately, and training your brain to do the opposite is not going to help. So there are three steps to reclaim control of your procrastination that I personally use. So one of them is setting shorter deadlines. The reason why I set shorter deadlines than the advertised ones for schoolwork or any other work is because even though it may feel like discomfort, that discomfort is basically like a small admission fee, but that small admission fee allows me to complete my work a lot earlier, even if it means that I don't complete it in one day. So when I set myself a shorter deadline, it allows me to work a lot quicker compared to giving myself a couple months to do the same homework. Because when people set themselves longer deadlines, realistically, what's happening is that they don't trust themselves to do it quickly enough, and all they care about is perfection. But you're not meant to chase perfection. You're meant to chase that action because the whole purpose of knowledge is action, not knowledge for knowledge, knowledge for action. So shorter deadlines is going to allow you to work a lot quicker. Second rule is every time you procrastinate, you give yourself two options. You either stare at the wall and do absolutely nothing, no phone, no music, playlist, no nothing, or you do your homework, even if it just involves 3 lines of bad writing. So you give yourself at least 3 seconds to decide on that. And if you do decide to stare at the wall, you will realize that it is very boring, and your brain will suddenly want to do the other option, even if it is even worse. So every time you open up your laptop, only have your tab for the homework, nothing else. Rule number 3, lower the standard to embarrassing levels. It is basically what I touched on earlier. So your procrastination happens because your standards are way too high. What you need to do is lower your standards a bit, but perform consistently over a longer period of time and then ramp up the level. So to start off, instead of saying, "Oh, I want to complete this assignment all at once," or "I wish I could," instead say to yourself, "I'm going to do one maths problem, even if I don't know how to do it," or "I'm just going to write 3 sentences of absolute gibberish." So lower the bar so low that your brain cannot possibly see it as a threat. When you lower the bar so much, it basically rewires the brain into being able to do that task immediately. And another step that I did not include yet is the mindset shift. So you do not need to feel like studying in order to study. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you need to have a strict environment, or you need to act like it's exam conditions," but that's not really the truth. Uh, we've all been raised on this myth that action follows motivation, which is not really true. So it actually works the opposite way. Your motivation is not the start button, it's the reward that comes after you get going. So that dread, that heavy feeling in your chest right before you open a hard book isn't a sign that you should stop or take a break. It's normal. You shouldn't take it seriously. It's basically your brain rewiring on the spot when you continue to do the hard activity. That's what that feeling is. If it's hard, that means you're doing something right. And yeah, that is all the tips that you need to defeat procrastination. Thank you for watching.